My daughter's best friend thinks I'm the meanest mom ever, but she has no idea what I'm actually doing. Last month, I overheard my daughter telling her friend Lily that her parents kicked her out. Lily was crying in our kitchen, saying she had nowhere to go. My heart broke. She's only 17, and it was freezing outside. I couldn't let her sleep on the streets. I acted super strict and told her she could stay, but with harsh rules. I made a big show of writing them all down on our kitchen whiteboard. You must eat 3 meals a day, no skipping breakfast. You must accept warm hugs when feeling down. You must tell me if you need anything, no exceptions. You must take the spare blanket because nights get cold. You must join our movie nights on Fridays. Lily looked so confused at first. Then she started crying harder when she realized what I was doing. See, her real parents never fed her properly or showed any affection. They used rules to control and hurt her. She'd sometimes go to bed hungry as punishment, and holidays were spent alone in her room. My daughter later told me Lily called it her first real family dinner when we all sat down together. She kept waiting for the catch, for me to be mean like her parents. But now, 2 months later, she finally relaxes at mealtimes and even asks for seconds. Sometimes she even helps me cook. And yesterday she asked for my secret cookie recipe. This morning, I found a note hidden in my bedroom. It said, "Thank you for showing me what a mom should be like. I never knew rules could be about loving someone. You're the first person who made sure I wasn't cold or hungry. I finally know what having a real family feels like." I'm not crying. I just have something in my eye. How would you react if your best friend secretly called you trailer trash? My best friend finally announced her wedding date, and I was thrilled to be a bridesmaid. I had so many ideas and was excited to help her plan everything, but I quickly learned I wasn't her maid of honor. It hurt, but I understood it was her day to shine, not mine. While shopping for her wedding dress, I stepped away to get water and overheard her talking to her maid of honor. "I only made Amber a bridesmaid because I felt bad for her," she whispered. The maid of honor laughed and said, "I know. Can you imagine having trailer trash in your wedding photos?" Then they both laughed harder. I was crushed. That night, I told my boyfriend everything while crying. He got quiet, then looked at me with determination. "You know what we should do. Let's get married on the same day. Let's have the wedding you deserve." I was shocked, but immediately said yes. When I quit her bridal party, she was furious. "You're ruining my symmetry. How could you be so selfish?" We spent months planning our beautiful lake ceremony. I worried no one would come to ours. On our wedding day, I was amazed. Almost all our mutual friends chose our wedding over her country club event. By evening, even some of her family arrived at our reception. "Her wedding feels cold and staged," they told me. This is what real celebration feels like, the perfect moment. When my best friend showed up still in her wedding dress, looking defeated, I simply handed her a glass of champagne and said, "Welcome to my trailer trash wedding." Funny how it's the one everyone wanted to attend.
My girlfriend insisted I meet her parents over dinner. She trashed me in Italian all night thinking I wouldn't understand. "He's too stupid to even know," she laughed. After dinner, I thanked her parents in fluent Italian, then exposed every lie she told them. Isabella had been demanding to meet her parents for months. Every conversation turned into, "When are you meeting my family, Marco?" She was the type who thought batting her eyelashes meant she deserved whatever she wanted. Here's what Isabella didn't know. My mother was from Bologna. She raised me speaking Italian, and after she died when I was 17, speaking it felt too painful, so I stopped. My last name's O'Brien. I look Irish American. And in 3 years, Isabella never asked about my mother's background. The dinner was at her parents' McMansion. I brought flowers and prepared to be charming. We sat down with the good china, and Isabella immediately switched to rapid-fire Italian with her parents, turning to me with a fake smile. "We're just catching up. We'll switch back to English in a few minutes." Those few minutes turned into 2 hours of me sitting there like a houseplant, while the woman I thought I loved destroyed my reputation in a language she thought was her secret weapon. But I understood every single word. It started with my career. "He's fine, but he has no real ambition." She told them, "I basically support us financially because his salary is pathetic. I make $160,000 a year. Isabella makes $45,000 selling overpriced supplements." Then my personality. "He's boring. No culture, no sophistication. It's like dating a golden retriever. Sweet, but not much going on upstairs. I have Dante's Inferno on my nightstand in Italian." Her mom asked about marriage. "I'm ready tomorrow, but he's terrified of commitment." At that moment, I had an $8,000 engagement ring in my bedroom safe for a Tuscany proposal next month. The worst part was the casual cruelty. She'd look at me with loving expressions while telling her parents I was basically a charity case she was considering dumping. Her dad finally looked at me like a disappointing house pet and asked Isabella, "Are you sure about this one?" He seemed simple. Isabella laughed and patted my hand condescendingly, looking me right in the eyes. She said to her parents, "Don't worry, he's too stupid to understand what we're saying. Look at him just sitting there with that blank smile like a trained seal. That was it. Game over." The perfect moment came as we were leaving. Her dad, probably feeling guilty, patted my shoulder and spoke in slow English like he was addressing a kindergartner. "It was very nice meeting you, Marco." I smiled, looked him straight in the eye, and let my mother's language flow out like silk. "The pleasure was all mine, Mr. Rossi," I said in perfect unaccented Italian. You know that moment in movies when the bomb timer hit 0 and everything goes silent. Mrs. Rossi's wine glass slipped and shattered. Mr. Rossi's jaw dropped so fast, I thought he might dislocate something. Isabella went white as a ghost, then green around the edges, but I wasn't done. "Before we leave," I continued in fluent Italian, "I'd like to clear up a few small misunderstandings from this evening's conversation." I pulled out my phone and showed them the Tuscany trip confirmation. First class tickets, 4-season suite. This was your daughter's birthday surprise. Isabella's face was getting whiter by the second. She mentioned my supposed lack of interest in Italian culture. My mother, Francesca, was from Bologna. She raised me speaking her language. After she passed, it became too painful to speak. I kept it private because it was sacred to me. Mrs. Rossi's hand went to her chest, her expression changing from disgust to horror. And finally, I looked directly at Isabella, my voice ice cold. "You told your parents I was afraid of commitment. You said this knowing I've spent 2 months designing your engagement ring, planning to propose to you in the hills of Tuscany." I stood up, turned to her parents. "Thank you for everything. You have a beautiful home." Then I walked out, leaving Isabella in the wreckage she'd created. Isabella refused to leave my apartment, so I had my friend stay as backup. She escalated to theft, stealing my mother's jewelry box and $12,000 worth of belongings. When that didn't work, she and her friends began stalking me at my gym and office. I went legal. Restraining order, theft charges, civil suit. The judge granted everything immediately. The real shock came during court. Isabella's father contacted my lawyer privately, horrified by his daughter's behavior. He paid the full settlement and personally returned my mother's jewelry box. Isabella walked into that courtroom expecting daddy's support and found him sitting on my side instead. 6 months later, her life had completely imploded. No job, legal bills she couldn't afford, and a reputation permanently damaged. My girlfriend said, "I called 911 and told them you hit me, so you'd come home from poker night early." The police were at my door. I replied, creative. Then I showed officers my doorbell camera footage of her rehearsing her story and punching herself. When they arrested her for filing a false report, I was mid-hand holding a full house when my phone blew up. 11 missed calls from Becca, then a text. Come home now or you'll regret it. I stepped outside, called. She picked up before the first ring. Where are you? Poker night, like I told you. What's going on? Long pause. Just come home. Then she hung up. Weird, but not that weird for her. I went back in. 20 minutes later, an unknown number. This is Officer Davis. Are you the resident of 4B? Yeah. Your girlfriend reported a domestic violence incident. She says you hit her. You need to return immediately. I wasn't breathing. I hadn't even been home since 6, but they didn't care. I drove like I stole the car. 2 cop cars. Flashing lights. Neighbors filming from their balconies like it was an episode of COPS. I walk in. Becca's on the couch, crying into an ice pack. That's him, she says, pointing like I walked in holding a chainsaw. Cop steps in front of me. Your girlfriend says you punched her after an argument. I left before 6. Been at poker since. 5 people can back that. Becca jumps up. He's lying. He was drunk. I pulled out my phone. You want to see what actually happened? Doorbell. Cam. 5:43 p.m. I'm leaving. She says, have fun, babe. Then 6:45 p.m. She walks outside, looks both ways, and starts acting. Okay, he hit me. No, wait. Pushed me first. Then she slaps herself. Checks the mirror. Slaps herself again. Ow. Okay, perfect. Then smiles and walks back in. The room went silent. Cops stared. Becca blinked fast like maybe the video would disappear. I looked at her. Creative? She started stammering. The cops didn't care. Ma'am, turn around. Wait, no, I didn't mean. He made me. Cuffed. Screaming. Neighbors recording the whole show. She's bawling as they read her Miranda rights. After they dragged her out, the cop handed me a card. Lawyer up. And maybe get cameras inside too. 1:47 a.m. Her mom texted me. You had my daughter arrested over a misunderstanding? Sure. Just a tiny misunderstanding involving cops, lies, and fake bruises. Next morning, I found Patricia, my lawyer. Sharp, mean, and bored of people like Becca. Watched the footage once and said, oh, this is gonna be fun. Day 3, Becca's bestie called me on a block number. Are you seriously pressing charges? She tried to get me arrested for a felony. She was just emotional. She committed 3 crimes. Emotional doesn't erase that. You're heartless. Then the smear campaign started. Her sister posted, some people don't know how to treat women. Tagged me. My job. Even my mom. So I kept screenshotting. Patricia said, let them dig the hole. Meanwhile, Becca made bail. Showed up to pick up her stuff with her parents, sister, best friend. Like she was scared to face me alone. Her dad tried puffing up. A real man wouldn't send his girlfriend to jail. I said, a real woman wouldn't fake getting hit. Her sister tried guilt tripping. I ignored her. Becca tried to grab the TV. I pulled up the Venmo receipt. It's mine. Showed up to pick up her stuff. Can't we fix this? I said, nope. Then came the notebook. Left behind under the couch. Full of handwritten crap like, make him feel guilty about poker nights. Isolate from friends. Push for shared bank account. Patricia read it and laughed out loud. She planned it all. A few days later, Becca showed up again. At my door. Screaming, pounding. I know you're in there. Open the door. I didn't move. Camera caught everything. Cops showed up. Arrested her again for violating bail. She went back inside the system. Then her dad called my boss, saying I was dangerous around women. Patricia hit him with a cease and desist. Then her sister started leaving 1-star reviews on my company's page. HR got involved. Becca's lawyer begged for a plea deal. No jail. Sealed record. Patricia said, she gets nothing. We go to trial. And we did. The jury watched that footage 4 times. 4. Every slap, every fake tear, every check in the mirror. Becca tried crying on the stand. Said she just wanted attention. The prosecutor said, so you rehearsed a felony for attention? She had no answer. Her sister tried painting me as controlling. Patricia held up the notebook. Game over. Jury took 90 minutes. Guilty. Sentencing? 364 days in jail, 5 years probation, 500 hours community service, $12,400. Restitution, mandatory therapy, lifetime record. Her mom screamed in court, like actual banshee level. Judge just stared at her. Be grateful your daughter isn't going to prison. Becca got dragged out in cuffs while her whole family melted down in public. And me? I left court, got tacos, and blocked the whole family.